This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. Squad. There we go. 2 men. Are your fathoms looking different as well, like mine? Are they updated?
Yeah. Mine's also looking like this now.
I like it more. It looks cleaner. Okay, dokie. Let's go. Do you boys, we spoke pretty recently. Do you boys have any questions, anything coming up before we go into trainings?
No, I'm all good.
Okay. Jack?
Nope.
No.
Just ready to rock and roll.
Dean was here yesterday. Was the money objection very different to what you're used to, Jack? Was it right up your street? What do you think of the video?
Yeah, the money objection, I mean, pretty formal. I mean, I don't, what I struggle with is like they just keep on going back, right? Like it's like money, and it's like, yeah, sure, okay. And we walk them through, and then they're like, yeah, I gotta think about it. Yeah, okay, right on. Yeah. So that's fair, no worries. No, and you've already done your tie downs, right? So you're just going to, so when you do go and think about it, let me ask, just what's coming up for you? It's just a big financial decision. Okay, right. Yeah. So it's like volleying in between, back and forth from one objection to the next. And
Okay.
I don't know if I'm,
Okay.
I don't know what,
It's
I don't know.
It's just a big financial decision, Jack.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Yeah. You're asking me, is it a big financial decision, right?
No, I would say I'm the lead, and I say to you, it's a big financial decision after you do smokescreen.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think you would agree, that getting you to, $15,000 months out of your shop and, essentially doubling your income, that's a massive step too, right?
Yeah, huge.
Yeah. So I understand that, hey, the investment, big step, but we're also talking about taking a massive step with your shop and bringing in more income for your family and hitting the goals that, we've been trying to hit for the last 6 years. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
So when you say it's a big financial decision, are you talking about the investment itself and we don't have access to that? Are you talking about you have access to a little bit of it and that's what makes it so big? Or help me understand the situation a little bit better.
Yeah, like I might have access to it. It's just it's just a big, like, regardless, it's just whether I have it or I'm not too sure, but maybe, right? It's just a big decision. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Money
would trip
aside.
me up.
And then I would say, okay. And if it was $1, Jack, like, is this something you would get started with and working on? And do you really feel like it can get you there?
Oh, I thought I did my tie downs. Do you want me to? So I would
Well, I
do
mean,
tie downs again, even though.
yeah, I mean, I would just go the $1 route. Like, okay, I mean, if this was $1, Jack, um, you know, would you get started? Would you get rock and rolling with us on this project and achieving your goals? You'd be like, yeah, of course. Okay. Oh, if they say no, then that's a discovery issue, right? You should already know they're tied down and they want to do it, right? Of course it would be. Okay. So, like, would it be fair to say, they're just looking for a little bit more certainty here, right? Certainty that if you do invest what is a large sum of money for you, that it is going to bring a large return and get you to. I mean, even before you go uncertainty, you could say to them, you could do the $1, and you could say, well, I mean, if you know, what would you do if you what would you do if you did invest the money and then in a magical wonderland that doesn't exist 4 months down the line, you actually had your goal? If you knew that would come possible, and if you knew the outcome, is it something you would do? Is it an investment you would make? Oh yeah, but like that's never going to happen. Of course, it's never going to happen, Jack. Like this is a risk. That's why it's worth doing, right? But if you knew if I put $50, $100 in right now, I would double my pricing and I'd double my clientele in 4 months, and I'd be making 10K a month. You'd do it, right? Yeah, of course I'd do it. Okay. So would you fair to say you're just looking for a little bit more certainty here? That if you do this, it is going to work out and you are actually going to get to your goal? Then like, yeah, and then you're just into the conversation that you need to be having. Right.
Sure.
Does
I'm
that
just
resonate?
closing my office door here quick. Yes,
Does
that
resonate?
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and essentially I could have handled it better for sure, but it was just like I
Because
just
if
need to think about it.
because if I'm wobbly or if I'm not making sense or if I say I have the money, but we know what conversation we're going towards, right? But it's just entering fear. You hopefully you know that you need to have an uncertainty conversation. Did you realize that? But your block was how do I start having that conversation, right?
Yeah, 100. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of little questions. I didn't execute them very well, but that's how I would go and start it. Would you do anything differently?
No, I'll do that. If
Yeah.
I do get the but down the money conversation, if it's like but my partner, of course, then partner. But if it's like, but then I would go, okay, well, would it be fair to say that you're looking for some certainty and then have the certainty conversation? That's how I would do it.
Yeah, if you're ever stuck, just ask it straight up. Like Dean, like there's another.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. If it's like
yeah.
they stuff that they're saying is not like it doesn't make sense, I would ask that question. Otherwise, I would just.
If someone says to you like, yeah, like I have the money, but also I don't have enough money, it's like, bro, would it be fair to say you're just looking for some certainty here?
Yeah, yeah. There we go. Yeah.
There's one, I think one of Matthew's like, literally said that same sentence like yesterday. I have the money, but I just don't have enough money. And I was like, yeah, just asking, bro. Like, what's the fuck's going on? So yeah, hopefully that's helpful. Let's get into smoke screens today, and then we'll get into uncertainty because uncertainty will leave for last because that's the beast. And get a new documento up as well.
Hey, John, real quick too. You shared a call with a gentleman. I think it was on a fitness offer where it was uncertainty, and you
Oh no, that was
looped him through a couple times.
yeah, that one call was appointmentsetter.com. So that was just selling, make money online, become an appointment setter.
Okay.
But yeah, that's an example. That's one example of uncertainty. That was a good example, but it was the only call I ever took on that offer. I've only taken one call, and it was that one. And that I hadn't sold for. I was selling cold wardens B2B before that, so it was like 9 months. Like I hadn't actually done a fear. So it was like you probably saw the first half. I was like wordy. I was trying to find my feet. It was like like a car that hasn't been started in like years. It's kind of like that. But once I got in the role after like 15, 20 minutes, it started to click. Right. But the first half of it was not ideal, but I got there. The second half was pretty clean.
Yeah, it was a close, right? You're talking about he
Yeah.
was like Dominican or black or some
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really well done. But where is that again? I can't remember where. Is it in the sheet?
It's just in the closer info doc. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
It's a good example. It's probably the worst fear close I've ever done, but it's a good example nonetheless. So again, you don't need to be efficient in discovery as long as you get the job done. It's good. Like as long as you get the goal and the problem, you get the job done. This fear call was the example of that. It was like I wasn't efficient, but I got the job done. Right. Which at the moment, the only thing that matters for you two is just getting the job done. If you got to run over, if you got to spend 2 hours, just get it done. Who cares? Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Where are we going? We are going smoke screens. So obviously we have objections, we have no objections, and today we're going to cover smoke screens. We did financial objection yesterday with Dean and Jamil. What smoke screens have you had? Give us one, Dean, on this offer.
Partner.
Okay. And what have you had, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, I haven't had partner come up yet.
Nice.
Think about it. Yeah, I mean, think about it is probably the biggest one.
Well, these are the only two you can get. So you guys have nailed it. There's only two smoke screens. Obviously, the think about it's a bucket of pray on it, sleep on it, check my finances, right? All of those delays, right? Pray on it, sleep on it, check my finances, right? What else? I had a lady once that needed to wait for the moon to hit a certain time in the day, and she actually paid. She came back on the follow-up same day and paid, but it was a fucking weird one.
Good Lord.
Um, so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different variations of this. You've probably heard them all, right? But you're pretty much going to get a partner or some form of just like delay smoke screen sort of thing. Let's tackle this one first because it's the easier one, right? Where do you start, Dean, with this?
I would first disarm and say, yeah, that's not a problem. And then probably be like something like, just so I can send you the most relevant information. What are you hoping to go over in your mind? Just to see if I can help.
I lost my tab. Disarm them. What are you looking to go over? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything? Would you do the same, Jack? Would you do anything slightly differently? What would you do?
Maybe ask what specific information do you feel like was covered that you need to go over? Are we supposed to justify them wanting more information sent and like saying like, yeah, I can send that over for you? Because isn't that saying, isn't that reinforcing their excuse, or is that off base?
Let's just stick with the think about it for now. And that's a little bit different. That's more like a question. Can you put it in an email, right?
Right.
More like a no objection question. But let's just stick pure. Think about it. Pray on it. Sleep on it. If we just make it think about it, it makes it easier. Before we try and understand or clarify or handle anything, what is a good idea to do? The thing we do the most in objection handling. What is it?
Get clear on if they think it'll work for them.
Yeah. So where I would start. Yeah, I'll just copy, just save my type in. I would go for, we're gonna keep the style the same, huh? Let's go for it. Same style we did yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah, commitment, or some people call it tie down, or whatever it is, right? I think commitment's a nice word. Doesn't really matter what you call it. So commitment, exercise. In your opinion, do you feel it can get going? You guys need to be very good at this, asking this question, because this is the most common thing you do in, the whole of everything after you drop price. Is the thing, right? You do it before you drop price. You do it when you get the first smoke screen. You do it when you get an objection. You do it every time you get a thing. Just get good at asking the question in the right way and have maybe 5 little slight variations of doing it so you're not a weirdo, right? Most important thing.
Yeah.
Commitment. Cool. Then they're like, yes, right? Obviously, before you do go and think about it, Dean, right? In your opinion, more importantly, do you really feel it can get you to a place where you are doing XYZ and making this much money? Yes, I do. Cool. Then we come back to what Dean said, which is, I believe you said something along the lines of clarifying, right?
Yeah. What are you hoping to go over in your mind? I just for think about it, I just have those two switched around. So would you say get the buy-in before that?
It works both ways. I found personally that if someone says they need to think about it, and then you ask them what they need to think about, it's a bit of a boxing match.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah. Makes
depends
sense.
how you depends how you deliver it. Because the commitment is the permission. It's like, okay, right, you want help with this? Yes, I want help with this. Okay, talk to me, right? Rather
Yeah.
than why do you want help
Okay.
afterwards? Both can work. Depends on your delivery. I think this will be more consistent this way around.
Yeah.
Do you have a reason why you do it the other way around? Or should I
So
say,
the
what
big
is the reason?
yeah, the big reason is to get that guard down. So part of mine is that's not a problem, just so I can send you the most relevant information. That relevant information makes it like, okay, well, I'm gonna send it, don't worry, all is good.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
then after that they'll give either the real objection or they'll be like, oh, whatever, and then I'll get the buy-in. So that's kind of my reasoning. But I can switch it around.
No. I mean, do whatever you need to do to handle an objection. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't switch the objection stuff around. You know, the discovery we want to be on the same page, right? To
Yeah.
train it, but objections to just get the job done, right? Um. So yeah, commitment, and then I'd say clarify, and I would say, I got a role play it to get out of my head. Okay. And before you do go and think about it, Dean, in your opinion, do you feel like it can get you to X, Y, 1, 2, 3? So you can
Yes, I
ABC?
do.
Yes, I can. If you want to double it down, like we did yesterday, you can double it down, right? But we won't cover that because we covered that yesterday. Then I would say, okay. And yeah, and before we do kind of hop off here, Dean, what is coming up for you now that makes you want to put a bit of time and space between this, just to see how I can support best with that, right? Support you best there, help you out best. I like what's coming up for you now, not what are you going to go through in your mind. Both work, but it just helps me. What's coming up for you now, right? Different languages, they can get the same result as long as you as long as you do the job. It doesn't, it's just small pieces, right? So, I'll just put before we um, wrap this up. Language is not that important. The important part is like what you're going through now. Before we wrap this up, what is coming up for you now that makes you want to spend or makes you want to put some time between this, or I mean, this part isn't as important. Use your own language, whatever you're like in normal life. This part isn't as important, but this is the part I find important with how I handle things. What's coming up for you now? Makes you want to put a bit of time between this, often, just to see how I can support or help. Right, pretty easy. Anything you would add or change, Jack? No.
No, I like the coming up for you now too. I think that's really important.
Yeah, that's one of Billy Boy's. I think that's or Adam. They're both from the same world. So this is what works for me. What are the outcomes we can get here, Dean? Give me one outcome.
Money.
Yeah. So
Or yeah,
one
partner.
outcome is objection, right?
Yeah.
Money or uncertainty for sure. What is another outcome, Jack, that we can get here?
Fear?
Yep, money and fear. So one outcome is we can get an objection, which is the goal. That would be the best outcome. What other outcomes could we achieve?
Partner. Partner can also come up, yeah. Which is not
Yes.
a smoke screen.
another smoke screen,
Oh.
which might be which might be another think about it variation,
Yeah.
or just the same. I just need to think about it, Dean. Right? Have you guys ever had that?
Yeah.
I think we all have, right? Or a partner. So there's only three outcomes. It's either they're not going to answer you or they're going to answer you, right? Pretty simple. If we don't need to cover Matthew's coming in, which is nice. We don't need to cover objections because we already have the money one down and we'll do uncertainty last. But if we do get another think about it, because we'll cover partner later, but if we get another think about it, what do we do then? What would you do, Dean? If I just said, yeah, just got to think about it, babe. I just got to sleep on it.
Well, I just go straight up and, yeah, well, how do you mean?
I mean, I'm just how I make decisions.
Fear. I'll go
What?
fear. Well,
So
a variation of fear.
Well, that's the worst trap you can be in. Or that's the thing I hate the least, when people just say, that's how I just make decisions. So I never want to steer it in that direction. Matthew,
Yeah.
if someone goes to think about it and I say, commitment, clarify what's coming up for you now that makes you want to do that, just see if I can help. And then I say, Matthew, I gotta spend 24 hours, man. I just need to sleep on it.
Some decisions you make quick, some decisions you make small. Give an example. What makes this the latter?
Yeah. That is the option me and Matthew use. I'll run you through it in detail, right? So one, so I can type it down for you guys, but two, so it actually makes sense. And then what would you do, Jack, before we go into this?
Yeah, I mean, I would be pretty stuck there. I may say something related to Dean and what Dean said, and then when they say, you know, that's how I make decisions, 24 hours, can I offer up some perspective? You know, given that you've made decisions like this, and your decision-making pattern has gotten you here, would you agree that it's time to maybe step outside of that decision-making pattern and look at this and take advantage of something that's going to help your business today?
Cool. Again, there's no one right way, but I'll give you my way.
Well, yours definitely sounds like the right way. So
Well, the thing
I'm looking
I
forward
hate, the thing I hate and I struggle with the least, which I want to avoid, and maybe you guys have a way of tackling it and everything. But the only thing that stumps me is this is just the way I do things. And the way I avoid that is with identity at the start. So they don't try and they don't try and they don't try and be like, this is the way I make decisions, this is my identity, and this is what a sensible person does. Because that's really hard to get out of. That's like the hardest thing in my world to overcome. Maybe you guys have a strategy to do it. If you do, hopefully share it with me because we need it. But that's my biggest bottleneck, right? Is just because it's if someone thinks that that's like if someone thinks that they want to be congruent with who they feel like with what the sensible person would do, it's going to be tough. You can beat them over the head. It's going to be really tough. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but it's going to be tough. So what I would do, yeah, Matthew, just need to think about it. I say, I get you. I mean, I hear you, right? Obviously, there are decisions in life that we've got to think about. There are also other decisions in life that, you know, if you're driving along on the road and your car broke down, right, and you need to fix a tire, would you spend 24 hours and sleep on it, or would you get out and fix a tire or give someone a call? And obviously, I'm playing silly with you here. You're not broken down on the side of the road, right? We're on a Zoom call, right? But you wouldn't, right? If you're going to go and get lunch, you probably wouldn't sleep on it and 24 hours before you pick something out of the fridge. But I get it, man. I'm just being silly with you. Right? This is a very different decision. And there are different decisions in life, right? Like buying a house, getting a tattoo, right? Whatever it might be for you. That does take a bit of time. You don't make on the spot. That is a big decision, right? I guess what I'm really asking is what makes this decision one of the latter for you?
Because then they have to say.
Then they have to justify their position, right?
Financial,
Probably
etc.
money. Yeah.
They have to justify it. There's no other option. And if they give you, like, I just got to think about it, like, you're not going to do. You're like something else went wrong in the call, right? So that's what I would do. What are your thoughts, Dean?
Yeah, I like that actually. That's really good.
So it's maybe not more detailed, but I'd call it like split 2 ways of making decisions. We can, I'll try and type it out. How are we doing on time? We got time. I'll try and type it out. Or something short related. So we can go, you know, I hear you. I mean, there are decisions that take time, right? There are two. Yeah, maybe we can just say there are 2 ways. I hate typing. That's why I'm a salesperson. There are different types of decisions, and there are definitely ones that take some time or sleep on it or pray on it. There are definitely ones that need praying on, right? Whatever you use. And then I'd say some decisions we all have, like analogy, right? There are some decisions we all have, like if your car breaks down on the side of the road, you need to do this, you need to do that, or if you're gonna get a sandwich or whatever the fuck you want to make up. Some decisions, like analogy, you probably wouldn't XYZ, right?
I'm not saying Johnny would fit here, but one that I just randomly come up with the other day on a call, or actually worked somehow, was I asked the guy, I was like, yeah, no stress, man. And would you say your goals achieving X, Y, and Z for your daughter is an emergency? Or do you feel like it's not that big of a deal? And they're always going to say, yeah, it's an emergency, right? So they go, well, yeah, of course it's an emergency. Okay. Do you drive? Yeah, I do drive. Okay. And let's say your car broke on the side of the road and now you're holding up all the traffic. Would
So
you
you
say
lay it
that?
up with the story.
And then I go, would you say that's an emergency, bro? And would you probably call AA and get your car off the road ASAP? And then they go, well, yeah, obviously, right? Otherwise, I'm holding traffic up. Okay, so what's coming up for you that makes you want to treat this any different? Because then they're forced. Like
Yeah.
you literally, you have to say. Because the guy went, what did he say? I think I closed him as well. He went, yeah, but calling AA, mate, don't cost 5.8K.
Boom, objection. There
So I
we
was
go.
like, got
Yeah.
it, man. So it's just the 5.8K? And he went, yeah.
So you're doing the same thing in a more sneaky story way, which is clever.
Yeah, it works. It works. It works
No,
well.
it's very good.
I want
Very
to
good.
just throw one in here as well. It works on the bastards that talk about saving as well, bro. Right?
No,
So
it's
they
very good. Very good.
I've got to have money for an emergency, and it's like, oh man, I hear you. Like I feel the same. Do you
Yeah.
feel like your goals are an emergency, or like they're not that big of a deal? I do. Okay, brother. So it sounds like you've been saying for this day, right? So what's coming up for you?
And that's the difference between knowing what you're saying and knowing why you're saying it. Because when you know why you're saying it, you can spin it.
Yeah. But I kind of like, yeah, they both work. But I like the layup one because like with the emergency thing, because it's like they're
It's good.
forced now to admit that it's an emergency, right?
No, it's very good. It's very good. We have this recorded, so everyone can steal that as well.
Oh, maybe one day I'll be on YouTube Guru, like I'll be on Bill Walsh's channel or something.
Bill doesn't.
There's no doubt about that in my mind, Matthew.
Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll dye my hair ginger. Maybe I can play off as his twin.
Oh, be careful. This is recorded, right?
Yeah.
So. But no, that was 10 out of 10. Love it. So that you can take this principle, guys, and obviously, as Matthew's demonstrated, use the principle and put it your own way, whatever makes sense to you, right? Just like everything in sales, take the principle, and once you get better, you can spin it. So, yeah, the point is there's 2 ways of making decisions. You say it in a nice way without telling them, like, there's 2 ways of making decisions. Some are like analogy, where you XYZ 1, 2, 2, 3, and some do take some more time. Or if you're like Matthew, you can kind of skip it around and say, would you say this is emergency, right? And some do take some more time, right? Like XYZ, ABC, right? And then the real point is asking the question, right? Which is, what is it about this decision that makes it one of the latter, or if you want to use different words, this is probably like an English thing. I don't know if everyone does this, but I use it because I'm English. So word this how you want, but you're basically asking for justification. So you split it in two. There are two types of decisions. One are quick, one are slow, right? Why is this decision one of the slow ones? Because you get them to
That's
admit,
beautiful.
you get, as Matthew did, you get them to admit when you break down on the side of the road, it's an emergency, right? It's a quick one, right? So you got to make them realize they do make quick decisions. They don't sleep on every single decision in life. Because if they had to sleep on whether they're going to get out of bed in the morning or not, they're probably never going to get out of bed ever. Right? There are decisions they make. You can use that as an analogy, right? That'd be a funny one, actually. That's something you would do, Matthew, probably.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty much think about it. And then the outcomes you can get from here are the same as this. You can either get the same thing. You can get the objection, which you're most likely going to get like 99% of the time after if you follow through with that correctly. And then you may get partner, or you may get another think about it. If you get another think about it, you're fucked. You might as well just say like, bro, is it this? Is it this? Is it this?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and then the third one is just like you just gotta freaking feed.
That's like the only time I would feed anything in sales. We'd never want to feed, but if someone's passed this and you've executed it perfectly, and they just said, right, I just got to think about it. It's just like, you're a cunt. Like, is it the money? Is it like you're just not too sure? Like, what's going on here, bro? If they give you partner, we'll move on to that now. And if it's an objection, obviously we've pierced the smoke screen, which is the point of the training, right?
Can I get your feedback on something, John?
Yeah,
Like
good.
as a last ditch, when we were in home improvement sales, one of the things that we'd throw back on the homeowner was like, "Is it me, guys? Is it me?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"No, no, 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 no." And then it just kind of all starts pouring out. They're like, "No, they don't want to be offensive." So maybe
Yeah.
that could be like the ripcord, like the third last ditch attempt.
Yeah, we got options. Again, we shouldn't get here too much, but I do agree. I like it. Feed. I mean, I would do the same thing if people are asking for payment plans. I want to get more cash up front. I would use me as well. I always got more cash up front by saying, yeah, like we can do it. But the only thing is like, the commission I make, and I'm not here just for the commission, but the commission I make would be lower, and the payments would have to get to a certain amount before I'm kind of like paid out on this, which is fine. Like I care more about you and your results, but as long as that's fine with you.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And
What
the client is buying you and they're trusting in you. That's the way they're buying. Oh no. How much is it? So like everything is good.
I'm gonna do that one because I can pull that one off. But like a similar thing, right? I cooked the guy I just closed as well because he said about about the money, and I was like, "Is it you got it, bro, or like you just done?" And then he went, he smiled, and I was like, and he had like veneers. I was like, hey, "You got veneers, and I can see my reflection in them, so I know you got money, bro." And then he went, yeah. I got more. I got 5.8. I was like, "How much you got?" And he goes, "I got like 30, 40 bands." I was like, "So do you know what the next question is, bro?" And he went, "What?" I said, "Why you ask me for a payment plan?" Right? And then he goes, he's like, "Oh man, because of this bill and this bill and this bill." I didn't get a PIF in the end, but I got 3K. But I was like, "Awesome, like you're doing this for your daughter, right?"
Did you have to go through uncertainty with him or no?
No, not you, and you're doing this. Well, I just cooked him with this one thing. I like, "You're doing this for your daughter, right?" And he's like, yeah, I'm doing it for my daughter. How old's your daughter? He's like 2. I was like, oh, okay, so she can't speak yet. But like, let's say like your daughter could, and she was like sitting on the table right now, and she was like listening to this conversation, right? And she's listening, she's hearing our conversation. Like really what she'd be listening to is, right, her dad making a decision between 5.8K or having time with her. So now if you envision that, right, how do you think she'd feel with you picking 5.8K over time with her? And he was like, when you put it that way, yeah. And he was like, fuck, bro,
Jesus
you're good at this.
Christ.
He was like, you're good at this. And he said, how about this, bro? It's just like 5.8 is like because of this bill and this bill and this bill. He was like, man, like, could I do like 2.5, something like that? I was like, man, to be honest, I don't like the number 25, but I do like 30. So I was like, so like if I really pull some serious wins for you, and like I can get you started like 3K down, are we getting started right now? And then he was like, I go on show. I was like, are you sure? And he went, yeah. And then I pulled up a video of, do you know I Show Speed? The black guy who I talked about. Yeah. I pulled up a video of I Show Speed's new TikTok of him dancing. And then while he was getting his card, I put Brazilian funk on and I danced on the call while he got his card. I swear to God, it's on video. You can go on my Fathom and watch it. And as he was paying, bro, I was like, I want a testimonial. I was like, are you Dominican? And he went, yeah. I was like, can Dominicans dance? And he was like, yeah. I was like, sick, bro. So like, as he's paying, I'm like, I want a testimonial of you and your entire team, bro, hitting this dance. And I played Brazilian funk as he paid. It was a quality call, man. It was a good watch.
Yeah, good work. That's really good work. Yeah, so there's 3 levels, and Matthew's just demonstrating the upper levels. We need to know what we're saying, we need to know why we're saying it, and then the highest level, what is it, Matthew?
Reading between the lines.
Reading between the lines, right? Knowing what we want to hear, doing the Matthew stuff he's talking about there. So there's levels. We've got to master the first one before we skip to the second, then, right? So we want to make sure everybody's got the foundations down. There's no reason why no one's closing 20%, right?
Man, I'm on my highest close rate on this offer. I just checked my close rate. I'm at 38%.
You beat Luca.
I'm beating Luca by 2%. He's just got more cash than me, but like, that's luck of the draw kind of thing,
Yeah, you're just gonna pay the landlord with the close rate on you. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Good man. Cool. Let's do some role plays on this because we don't have enough time for partner. We're gonna do a whole hour in partner tomorrow because I want to make the right time for it. Matthew,
Sure.
does anybody have any questions with this? Because this is the summary for today before we do a little bit 10 minutes training.
Well, I need to split 2 ways. I need to just like get the exact wording and so I can have a look at it and then internalize it. Because I'm now like, okay, there are 2 different types of decisions. Yes. We either have analogy, what makes this one of the last, which is you want to put some time between it.
Yeah,
so I need to
make it your own words. You just want to say there's two just make it obvious. There are 2 decisions you make. Right? You do it in your own words, make it like you can listen back on what I said, or I can say it again now. That make them realize they do make decisions 2 different ways. They make quick ones, they make slow ones, right? You can use analogies to make it obvious to them, right? If you want to instead of just telling them you make decisions 2 ways, you can be like, there are decisions like when your car breaks down, but there are also decisions like when you buy a house. You probably want to look in the house and come back the next day and whatever, right? And then you just ask them why is this decision one of those decisions, like when you buy the house? Oh, because, right? So it just justify to me. You tell me. I mean, there are ones like this. There are ones like this. You tell me why it's like this. What is the reason it's like this, right? So let's train that. Do you feel confident in going? Think about it. Sleep on it, Dean. Do you feel confident in it, or should we start with Matthew first?
and Matt start.
Yeah, somebody throw the ball straight at my house.
Jack. Well, I know Matthew
Yeah.
because I've been doing it with Matthew for 4 or 5 months now. But Jack, how do you feel? Do you feel confident in going for 2 think about it in a row?
Yeah.
Cool. Jack, if you go, well, Matthew, if you start with lead and if you just say, just need to think about it, and then Jack, if you can take him through twice, Matthew, obviously, you're doing both of them. I'll go from there. Okay. Matthew, kick it off.
Oh, you want me to do the think about it?
No, if you just say, I got to think about it, Jack.
Oh, okay, right. Oh, yeah. Okay, Jack. Yeah, it sounds great, mate. I just need to think about it.
Yeah, no problem. No worries, brother. Let me ask you, most importantly, do you feel like what we went over can get you to where you want to go, your goals specifically? Because that's the most important part, right?
Yeah, I do.
Why do you feel like it can?
I just think the support. I like Alex. This and this. I trust you guys. So to me, sounds good. Checks out. You got the plan. So yeah, I feel like it can.
Yeah, that all makes sense. So when you do go and think about it, what specifically is coming up for you that makes you want to do so?
I, it's tough, man. I don't know exactly. I just need to think about it, to be honest. And yeah, just got to think about it.
Yeah, that's fair. I hear you. I can appreciate that. Um, really when we're making decisions, we've got like ones that are priority and ones that are not so priority, ones that take a minute, right? Like that make you want to think about it, and ones that we just make kind of snap decisions on, like buying a house or, if your car breaks down on the side of the road, right?
Mhm.
So if you had a flat tire, are you taking a day to think about it, or are you calling up the tow truck so that you can get it handled ASAP?
Yeah, well, I'd fix it, right? Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what is it about this particular decision that's coming up that makes you want to take more time to spend with it?
Um, Fixing my car road don't cost 5.8K.
Done. Cool.
Beautiful.
How do you feel
Okay.
about that, Jack?
I mean, like a little choppy, with my comparison, but other than that, I mean, it's coming.
Yeah, you've got the framework. I think you've got half of the last piece. What were
Okay.
your no? I mean, you've got it. I know you just need a couple of reps on it. It's good. Um, Matthew, if you had to give one thing, what would be the biggest one thing that you'd give as feedback?
But it's probably gonna be hella nitpicky, right? But like since you told me about it, like it triggers me, and that's like not like it was fairly neutral, but like when I get an I need to think about it, I don't say anything like yeah I get it and no problem, yeah it totally makes sense, yeah yeah yeah, because we're just basically we're providing validity to it, right? So
Yeah.
neutral, I would say, but this is being nitpicky. But like, I would just be like, I wouldn't, well, I never say that. If they're like, I need to think about it, I'm like, I hear you. Okay.
It's like the only one you got. I hear you.
I hear you, everyone, bro. If they got anything about it, I'm like, yeah, I hear you. And, or no stress. I just hold the no stress and I hear you. But I never say like, I got you. I understand. Because I don't understand. So I hear you or no stress.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't.
Dude,
You
be
don't.
nitpicky with me. Like you can't offend me. Like if there's a bunch of things, like let me know. I want to get better. So be
I'd say
nitpicky.
biggest thing is just make your second think about it answer make sense. It was like 75% of the way there, but just it's nothing you can do right now. Just do it a lot of times. It's the first time you've heard it, so it's not a bad thing.
That alone, mate, just how you did today will get you a better answer 100% than when they say I need to think about it, asking what do you mean?
Yeah,
Like
like
100%.
if you just do what you did there, even though it was a little bit rough, it's probably 10 times better than what you're working with now. So keep with that, which is
100%.
good. I would say soften the edges sometimes, like especially on the first think about it, like what's coming up for you now. I would just be like, what's really coming up for you now that makes you want to think about it, just to see how I can help here, or just so I can help best. Like, just soften it around. We won't pick too much. I'd say focus on the second think about it. Um, and I think what Matt said is valuable, not just in think about it, it's just in the whole sales school, just a universal principle. If you agree with their limiting mindset, then it's probably not going to help them.
Yeah,
And
like John, I've had people and they say like, I mean, you get what I mean, right? And I go, no.
yeah,
Like literally, they're like, I mean, like it's a big decision, right? You get what I mean? Nope, I don't get what you mean, man.
well, I don't believe time exists. Like time's not an objection. So like when people give me the like, oh, like I just don't have the time. You get me? I'm like, fucking definitely. Like, I make time. I don't know about you, brother, but it seems like time fucking controls you, mate. So yeah, I mean, we definitely don't want to feed into it because that's what's keeping them where they are. And if we're on the same level as
Fucking
them,
A. Yeah.
which we're not, but I think none of you actually agree when they say this bullshit. But I think it's just an automatic response.
It's just to be polite, right?
I think you said it. Was it this session? I can't remember. I remember you saying, Jack. I can't remember if it was this session or not, but it must have been yes. I don't know who the fuck cares. But it was that's a lot of money, and you go yeah 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 yeah. Do you know what I mean? Well, it's not a lot of money.
Hmm.
I hear you, man. Okay. Right.
Or you can do like what I was doing before, which I had to stop, was they'd go, "That's a lot of money," and I'd go, "Okay." And how do you want to pay, bro? Credit or debit?
Right.
Yeah, that I've actually seen a couple of times people
I
do.
used to do it a lot. It's not bad. I used to I used to do that. I think Luke does it as well, actually, a little bit. They're just like, yeah, it's 5,800 credit or debit. When I had my highest close rate and when I was making the most money, I would do that. It's 5,800. Do you want to do credit or debit? I wouldn't even give them a chat. I would just go for the fucking lead. I wasn't waiting for a smoke screen or a no.
I'm gonna do that.
I'm not
I'm
saying you
doing that.
should. I'm not saying you should.
Why not? Like,
It works. It's
that's
good.
not gonna sink the ship, right?
No. If you've got the confidence in your ability and just everything you're doing, if you come across that way, which I definitely came across with maybe a little bit too much. You'll see when Daniel starts closing, he comes across with a bit too much. But I think it works if you're just like you're just there, like you're the fucking like if you're. It's not going to work if you're just like the not if you're like not confident, but if you're just neutral, it's probably not going to work. But if you're like confidence coming out your fucking up to the fucking universe, I think it works. So Matthew, it would work for Matthew a lot. Yeah, I wouldn't use it if you're not confident because you just got to fucking.
Yeah, I've said like if I had I should snip some stuff I've said on my goal. Like I had a woman, she raised it into my head so much because her installment plan come through like yesterday. But I had a woman, Stephanie Harris, bro, from Australia, and she said that she wanted to like make a change, like, and one of her reasonings, like a shift for her why recently was like something to do with her brother dying and stuff. And like when we got to objection handling, we were handling uncertainty. I just straight up, I was like, I mean, like hypothetically, right? Like if your brother was like looking at you right now, like how would he feel? Bro, I just cooked it, man. She was like, yeah, she'd be like, he'd be pretty disappointed. I was like, okay, so what are you gonna do about it? She's like, okay, fine,
But
25.
it's the same as the credit debit. It has to come from the right place
Gotta
in the
come
right
from
situation.
there.
Because if you're just like, this is a tactic that works, use the pain and throw it. Like, if you don't come from the right place, you're fucking done. So
I just find that like just like you did, Jack, with your the car analogy thing. Like I just be like, don't overthink it, bro. Just get on a call, do whatever comes to your brain, as long as it's on the right tangent, the right thought process, and it's just gonna tailor itself.
because the reason Luca's closing is because he's so there. He's listening. He's having that moment with the person rather
And
than just.
it's like I said earlier, Dean. Like your like Dean's second role play with me was like heat, mate. Like if he even did that on calls,
Say
like
it again.
Dean and me role played. He did his first one, then he did his second role play, and his second role play, like he produced genuine heat, bro. Like it was just top quality. If he brought that on his calls, like oh my god.
Well, Dean is top quality, but he's just got a confidence knock at the moment. So yeah. Was the role play in like your style, Dean, or
It was just the big thing was the outcome, getting that outcome.
yeah?
So Matthew like made something click, and then I just did that. I don't know what I did, but I just did like.
Oh, you just cooked me, bro. I was like, yeah, man, just like a bit of stress. He was like, stress? What do you mean? And I was like, yeah, man, I just want to I just want to go to the next level. He was like, next level? What does that look like? I want to see what that looks like.
Because you're curious. You got to be curious. Right?
Yeah.
Why do they need to make a
Yes.
change? You know, why? Yeah, that's all. That's what, as I said to you, Dean. Like I believe everyone comes to the call for a change. I'm curious. Why is that? I'm trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure it out as well.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on? Right. Let's do one more role play. Jack, if you can start the lead. Just need to think about it, Dean. Do you feel ready for the double think about it, Dean?
Not yet. I want to get the word track.
Cool.
I can give it a shot.
Oh, give it a shot, mate.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
haven't
yeah,
you haven't
let's
got
do
a
it.
choice. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, Dean, everything sounds great, dude. But yeah, I obviously I have to think about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Before you do go and think it over, do you believe this can actually get you to ABC?
Yeah, I do.
Why is that?
Damn, bro, it's so brutal.
it's fucking good, isn't it?
Really, it's really good. Yeah, keep going.
Really good.
Yeah, the XYZ accountability is what was sick.
Okay. And when you say you want to go think about it, what's coming up for you?
Bro, I mean, I just gotta think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are different types of decisions in life, Some we make faster, some we make slower. And there are ones like, for example, when your car breaks down next to the road. Would you call that an emergency?
Yeah.
What was that?
I mean, I need to get it off the road, get it
Yeah.
on the road.
Yeah. And then there are decisions that take longer, like buying a house. Would you agree?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I would
what
agree
makes
with that.
this decision, what makes it one of those that you want to put some time in between it?
I mean, it's just the money, dude.
Fair play, man. That
10 out of 10.
like what? Yeah, what are you yamming about saying already, dude? Like what the frick?
Two
Yeah, but I want to get the word
nitty
tracks, man.
nitties.
Like the analogy, like if that doesn't stick for me and I don't feel like the analogy stuck there for me.
I'll tell you two things. One is my unsolicited advice is coming. One
Your
is
ancestor's device.
unsolicited unsolicited advice.
Oh.
But yeah, my ancestors' devices are pretty cool as well. But aside from their devices, you will find when you do this like hundreds of times. There'll be a few that slip through the net, and they'll say, "Oh, well, this is like I'm not broken down the side of the road." We'll always get those cunts. Not many, but I always get ahead of it. Bill does the like, "Oh, I'm just playing silly balls with you." That's where his line comes in. He wants to get ahead of things.
Oh.
I used to say it a lot, and now I get ahead of it with like, "Oh, I'm just being silly with you." Right?
Yeah.
You're not, obviously I'm being silly with you, you're not broken down, right? And then I just continue. Because you want to be the one to say it, not them, because otherwise you're in a fucking shit show. It doesn't happen often, but when you need it, you're going to realize you're going to do it every time. There's just got to be one or two guys to fuck you up, and you'll put that in there as well. And then, yeah, I mean, you can always pick things, but it's not the day to pick things; it's the day to make deals. So I think it was fucking really, really good.
I feel like you can pull off the like why is that? Like I don't know what it is.
That was it's so simple, but it's filthy as well.
Like you can
The,
pull it off. It's just very
the
just like
reason why I was always doing it differently, and then people could like, yeah, I think this is low, and then they talk themselves out of it. As soon as I get the yes, this can work for me, and why is that? Then I chip immediately go into the
yeah.
why is
So
that.
that's all you got to do in the discovery. When they go, yeah,
Yeah.
man, stress is stress.
Yeah, just chip it. Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. You just got to do it throughout the entire call.
Yeah, I agree.
You're talking about just stepping on the end of their sentence and
Yeah.
capitalizing on their statement.
Yeah.
You're just trying to understand in your style. You're just trying to understand like why the fuck are you here? Why do you need to make a change? Why do you want to make that change now? You're just trying to understand. That's why I call it. I'm trying to sell myself in North Star
Yeah.
because I'm curious. Like, why are you on the call? Why have you booked? I know my next door neighbor Susie doesn't need this, but why do you feel like you like? I'm trying to gather it, right?
Right.
So, and when you
That's helpful.
come from that place, it's boom. You're trying to figure them out. You're not just But yeah, what
Yeah.
I've seen from Luca is
Yeah.
Luca's not just asking questions. He's having a conversation. There's a difference between asking questions and having a conversation, right?
Well,
I
yeah.
think it comes down to caring. Like you're listening and you're caring.
Yeah.
It's
So
not
he
like
was
he's asking.
actually he was completing the thought, and then he would just follow that thought directly with the question, which
Because
makes
he's trying to figure it out himself,
yeah.
right? And he cares, and when you're trying to figure out, you care about the other person because you're trying to figure them out, and you're also listening, and you're also curious, just trying to figure them out. Right?
I learned something about Luca too, that he's a barber on his last call. I found that out about Luca. On
Don't think that.
He makes up some wild stories about like people inside the community. Like it's stuff that he makes
But
up on the go.
at
Luca,
any rate,
It's good.
the principle of him making it conversational was not lost on me. So yeah, I'm
I think-
definitely cognizant of that.
I've always been like that, and then when I started working with Matthew, I was like, holy fuck, there's someone that's kind of like me. Obviously, you're not the same as me, Matthew, but like we have the same thing. And now it's got like Luca, we're like, there's like 3 of us cunts now. And I'm just like, maybe it's just called being born in England. I don't know.
yeah.
But
It's just the ability to active listen as well. Like, I mean, I've been realizing it's weird. Like, I don't force it, but I can get cost of inaction a lot lately off of them so easily just by listening. Like, you know, when you say, like, do you feel like you're ready? Let's say they go, yeah, man, like I'm ready to step up. Like at the end of the day, nothing comes easy, right? You got to step up. Speaking of nothing, bro. Like if nothing changes, what does that look like going forwards? Right? And like the more you can
Yeah.
do from top to bottom, like you don't even have to try. You just don't. Like if you go specific outcome and they go stressed and you're like stressed and they go, yeah, man, I'm really stressed. Like what are you stressed about? Oh, I really want to make money. What do you want to make money for? Oh, I want to have this and this and this for my shop. Oh, when you say shop, bro, like tell me more about your workplace. Oh yeah, like are you the sole owner? Yeah, man. Okay. Oh,
this is
my buddy John. Oh, speaking, like, you know your buddy John, like, I mean, does he have freedom as a barber yet? Yeah, he does. So what's the rationale behind looking into something like this? And you can flow.
That's good.
we were speaking earlier, Dean, about following the process compared to
Yeah.
ticking boxes, right? So we went through Matthew for a long time of just like, this is the process, this is what you do, this is how you do it. And that took not a lot of time, actually, very quick, like what, month, 2 months, probably.
Probably, I mean, like my first month was like something like 16% close rate, and then I think I went to like 24 or something like that. Then like the second month, to be honest, it was like first month was just getting it down, and then by the second month, like I pretty much knew the framework top to bottom. It was just refining it.
Yeah. So it's good to say this sort of stuff because it is right. But also caveat is like you had to learn the basics before you could be fancy, right? So I'm not saying Jack or Dean, you need the basics, but it's a new process. So get the process down. Maybe it takes a day, maybe it takes a week, and you already know you can tick the boxes. Just if you feel like you can tick the boxes, you don't have to go in a specific order. We can just watch Matthew's calls and be like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking quit. No, I'm joking. Dean, you're gonna fucking smash it. I watched some of your calls this morning. I was on fucking little walking treadmill and just listening to your calls, mate, this morning. So yeah.
Yeah, and feel free to rip me apart, by the way. Like,
They're good, man. They're good. They're very
I
good.
do need it.
Cool. I'm gonna go and take a call now. So I'm gonna kick your Rascals out. We'll do partner tomorrow. Otherwise, we would have rushed partner, and partners, harder than just to think about it. It's still easy though.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm excited for fear. That's gonna be
Everyone's excited for fear, and no one really teaches it, and it's hard to teach, and everyone avoids. So we'll get there, but it'll be next week some point. We'll probably go into it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
Thanks,
Awesome,
guys.
boys.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Have a good day.